Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Don't you love it when things are both easier and more affordable? Like when the rain washes your car for you. Or like when you save up to 10% by bundling your renters and auto insurance with USAA. Bundle with USAA and start saving. Get a quote today.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to High School Hoops with your hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Steger.
Welcome to High School Hoops. I don't even know what episode we are, but welcome back, Coach.
Hey, how's everybody? I'm alive. We're good.
Jake's back. Him and I were just talking before we came on the air, and we got some great things coming up in the summer and next fall. So we're very excited about that. But before we jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish. I would like to give a big shout out to Nick, who's leaving Dr. Dish. He's one of the marketing guys that I've been dealing with, and he's going on to bigger and better things. So give a big shout out to him. But make sure that you call Dr. Dish, mention Coach Unplugged, High School Hoops, mention me, mention Jake, whatever, and they'll give you $350 off, which is the best deal out there. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. The one-stop shop for basketball coaches. We'll eventually talk about pros and cons of this year in another podcast. But one of the pros was I got to talk to a lot more coaches when I was not doing this. But so go over and check out teachhoops.com. Big changes coming, so you're going to want to jump in before they happen. All right, so topic today, Coach, and I just pulled up. I think my brother sent you this article. This article.
Yeah, you sent it. I got to forward to you, and you're like, we must talk about this. And I'm like, this is so intriguing because if you're a Wisconsinite like me and Steve, like right now, it is not a good time to be a Wisconsinite when it comes to. I mean, for us in the Bucks, it's been great, but right now we have Aaron Rodgers. We're not going to talk about Aaron Rodgers and what I believe about Aaron Rodgers.
He's Voldemort. We don't talk about him.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that. That's somebody else's podcast. Okay.
Yes.
But I have my own feelings towards him and how he's conducting himself. But this was like that and just everything else. This is like kind of not something I would even know that it happened, but I guess they're looking to develop this new high school basketball powerhouse national league, which is insane to me.
Right. So so from what I understand, and I will put this article because it was an ESPN article, and I'll put it down in the show notes. But the headline for the article was High School Basketball Powerhouse formed National League to set to begin next season in the 21-22 season. So basically what's happening is, the Oak Hills and what's the one, Monteverde Academy, and all those are coming together and forming their own league. 18
IMG.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know if IMG was in it. Sunrise
it is
Christian
IMG Academy from Florida is in it.
Are they in it? But basically what they're doing is they're starting. I mean, and the funny part is, one of them, first of all, one of the marketing guys that's the big guys in the NBA is helping market it. But they basically said with games being canceled this season, the NIBC schools, which are these schools, created a series of contests among themselves and brought us to help manage the events. secure sponsorship revenue, and place the games on ESPN. So guess what's talking? Money, 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 money is talking. So what's your thought? I have several thoughts.
Well,
on this.
I continue to I don't understand this when they make these comments in these articles and they talk about student athletes. I don't understand why we are looking at these kids as student athletes, because they're not considered student athletes. I don't know necessarily how this works, and maybe you can chime in. Is like, how does a kid from poverty, or a lot of these kids that are elite basketball players, even end up in these schools? Like,
Because they
how
can
do
play
they afford it?
basketball. It's no
Yeah, but how do they afford it? I mean,
it's no different than going to Juilliard. If you're good in drama or you're a good singer or something like that, you apply to go to Juilliard, which is in New York City, and you go there. And why are you going to Juilliard? Because you want to be a professional actor. You want to be a professional singer. You want to be There's no different with this. This is Juilliard for basketball players. It is a minor league, probably even more for the NCAA, for the NBA than the NCAAs. So yeah, let's not fool ourselves.
But who's floating? The last question I had before we start talking about this: who's floating the bill for these kids to go there?
The schools are. They're private schools. You and I could start one of these. Literally, if we had enough money, we could literally, seriously. If I had the money, I could start one of these. And you don't think with Madison, Milwaukee, and Chicago and Minneapolis, those four metropolitan areas, I could get 10 kids that are highly ranked to go play? I know I could. I mean, all I need is an accreditation, and all I need is, and I don't even know if you have to be accredited, because these schools don't play in associations. They don't play in the Florida Basketball Coaches Association, or where's Virginia? Is Oak Hill in Virginia, or the one in Indiana? They don't play in their state association, so they're just basically a school,
right?
That's the basketball player. I mean, now Oak Hill, some of these are really good schools on top of it, but it's not like going to Exeter. Like, Exeter has been around for hundreds of years. These schools are around for, Oak Hill's been around a while, but they got on the map because of basketball. And there's kids that go there that aren't like the top 50 in the country, and then they probably have to pay to go play.
Yeah, which they finance the school. It sounds like AAU.
It does. It does. But I'm just saying, it's like you and I could start one of these. I mean, I've loaded that up some idea things with several people I know, and it's like, if I found a big enough sugar daddy, I mean, I could start one up right here. I'd buy a house. I'd have somebody watch the kids and feed the kids. Then I would coach them, and then we would do online school, and boom, we're done. We'll travel all around the country and play basketball.
Right.
So if anybody's doing that and wants to come on the podcast, we'd love to talk to you. But
yeah, maybe defend yourself a little bit, because I'm a little skeptical, because I'm always concerned.
I actually have. I agree with the student athlete part. I have no issues with a talented person like LeBron James did not need to go to college. I mean, that they go for a year and then they leave. Come on, they're not student. They're going there. It's a minor leagues. So if you're one of the best basketball players in the world, then you should be able to go play basketball for a living. Because why do you go to college? I mean, part of college is growing up and becoming more mature. But I have no problem. The problem I have is, where's the safety net? That's the problem I have.
Right.
Like, if you go there and you tear your ACL, or you're not able to play, or you watch watch Last Chance U with the great things that Mosley's doing with the private school or the JUCO in California. Have a backup for them. Have something that they can do on top of that. I think that's an important thing.
Right. To me, whatever, I look at it as it was bound to happen. I'm shocked that it didn't happen sooner. With this idea, I think, it
sure happens with other sports too. I just don't know more about other sports and stuff.
And it'll be interesting where how these games will be televised. I think people will be very intrigued by it. I know just from a basketball fan, when some of these schools are on TV, I'm very prone to watch them, just because you watch high school basketball and one vision of what you see in your community, right? And then you watch these guys and it's like it's a whole nother level, right? It's just crazy. You think your
These
best
are professional players. That's the issue. They're so good and they're not like us. That I think that's where you got to look at it. Like, it doesn't matter who we're talking about. They're just exceptional at what they do. They're young though, and they need guys. Right. And so, what happens when they don't get their high school diploma?
Right. I think my biggest concern is if you're going to refer them to student athletes, where does the academics fall? What are they doing to ensure that that player, that young man, that young woman, what are they doing in regards to making sure that they're in a safety net, like you said, about, maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe they get hurt. I mean, it happens all the time.
Right. I think there just has to be something there for them when, like I said, they don't graduate, they don't do those kind of things. What else? Anything else on this, Coach? I think it's intriguing. I'll put the article for people that are listening, but I think it's an intriguing rabbit hole that our society is going down. And I think the money.
Do you think it's going to stem into like more national leagues of high schools doing this, or is it just kind of a fad? I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I think this is the elite of the elite. So whatever. It's like going to Carnegie Hall. I don't think this is gonna ripple down.
I also think that these teams are going to play each other anyways. They've been playing each other for years, right? And now they just have a conducive conference and something to claim that their school is better than the other.
They'll have a postseason. It'll help their recruiting, and the 50 of the top 75 will probably end up going to these places. That's fine. High school. I mean, there's still thousands and thousands of players that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's going to change the game that much unless they continue to have these type of schools continue to develop. Then you might see a huge difference within the game. But it'll be interesting.
All right. To more to come is what I'll say. More to come. All right. Till next week, Coach.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.